This is John Walton, and you're listening to the Power Play Point podcast with the Blue Liner on points and Anna Knox.
Here's Wilson, and on the right, certainly
Rebound loose, wild scramble in front, score! Ovechkin with a buzzer beater! It'll count!
And a hat trick tonight, number 21,
Spectacular! Braden Holtby!
Hello, welcome once again to the Power Play Point podcast. This is your host, the Blue Liner on Point, talking to you live to tape from still kind of dreary Glen Burnie, Maryland, after all the snow we were supposed to get and didn't.
You're supposed to get snow?
Yeah, we were supposed to get snow.
Today?
Over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, that was stupid. As soon as it landed, it melted and was gone out here, so.
Pretty much. And though that you are hearing the usual dulcet tones of the returning mermaid, Anna Knox.
Yes. Happy Tuesday. See, it's actually quite gorgeous out. I'm looking out the window right now. When I took the dogs out earlier, it was nice. I'm not looking forward to the end of the week forecast, but what can you do?
Well, so you took a brief sabbatical.
I did.
As you were not feeling up to it.
I will be totally honest. I slept terribly because I was thinking about all these things I had to do and my job and these appointments and blah, 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 blah. And then so I didn't sleep well. And then I woke up and I was just kind of like a cranky bitch, like all day. Like I didn't even want to be around myself. I was like, ugh. So I appreciate Jenny stepping in and covering because I was just quite unpleasant the whole day. It happens.
Yeah, right. No, it happens, and I'm glad you told me. And like you said, Mrs. B was there to step up to the plate, take one for the team, and by all accounts, she filled in very, very admirably. Mm-hmm. And by the way, she continues to be on the mend and is doing a lot better, getting more and more mobility in her arm now. Good. So getting better. But I'd like to thank her again for stepping up and filling in where necessary. Now there's a chance that she might need to do that again in the near future here, but we'll discuss that towards the end.
Yes,
because there's a specific situation going on with you. So we'll save that for the end. When we warn our listeners about what dire circumstances may be facing us. But before that, and before we get to the recaps, I wanted to take a couple minutes real quick to do a quick little dedication to two people who recently passed that meant a little something to me. Now, week before last, of course, was the passing of Larry King, who's of course famous for his show on CNN, but long before that was a local celebrity in and around DC, and was actually a huge Caps fan. Most people might not have known. My favorite memory of him, other than his broadcasting career, which I'm not ashamed to say I'm a bit of a fanboy. He's one of the people I looked up to as far as why I wanted to get into radio and broadcasting and podcasting and things like that was because of his work. But just wanted to share a quick memory I had of him, and it does have something with the Caps. I forget what year it was. I want to say it was 87 or 88, but it was a season opener, and he was on the ice as the master of ceremonies, and of course, one of the first things they do in the first game of the season at home is they introduce the owner, who at the time was the late Abe Pollin, and the general manager, who at that time was David Poile. And when they walked out onto the ice, they were both roundly booed very loudly and lustily by the then Capitol Center crowd. And it was to be expected because neither of them were very popular at the time. But what made it funny was, Larry King was kind of standing there at center ice, and when they finished walking out, he kind of took back the microphone and just calmly looked around, did a 360 around the crowd, and looked at everybody and said, "Wow, you guys are kind of in a festive mood tonight." I can't do Larry King very well, but if you can imagine that, that's what he said, and I just remember rolling around and laughing. I just wanted to share that because Larry was a big Caps fan in his time, and a pretty good guy in and around DC, and like I said, meant a lot to me. So just wanted to share that memory, and of course, another very recent passing, actually last night. Another one, Mary Wilson, of course, of the Supremes. Yes, I will say the music probably quite a bit before my time. I'm not quite of that era, but she's pretty good inspiration as an artist. She actually kept the Supremes together, kept them going after Diana Ross left. Of course, Florence Ballard and Diana Ross, and she founded the Supremes in the 60s. And they, of course, went on to be one of synonymous with that Motown sound that some of you may be familiar with. And yes, of course, it is Black History Month, this being February. So, got to pay our respects to a pioneer of the arts, and like I said, she helped found a group that became synonymous and got Motown music off the ground and made it what it is today. Very, very famous hit factory, as it were. Artists like her and of course Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, Smokey Robinson, the Miracles, groups like that. They all came out of that factory, and she helped put that together. And she went on to have a pretty decent solo career. Not just you talk about Renaissance man. She was a Renaissance woman. She became an author of a best-selling book, 2 best-selling books actually, and a clothing designer, a gown designer later on in life. So very, very accomplished woman. Like I said, very, very inspirational. So and meant a little something to me and to a lot of my friends. So this being Black History Month, and she having something of a personal influence in my life to a good amount of my older friends and me, I wanted to say something. Want to give a little dedication to her now that she's passed. And she certainly lived a full and wonderful and productive life, and we wish nothing but the best for her family. So just wanted to put that out there. I hate that it sounds rushed, but we're having to discuss a lot, cram a lot into a short amount of time. But I didn't want another episode to go by without mentioning something of those two, because, like I said, you talk about giants in their industry. Who mean something to humanity as a whole. So I just want to put that out there. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's go on. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's just come out and say it wasn't a good week for the Caps this past week. Not at all. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this is what made the Mermaid a little sick, more than a little sick.
Like I said, I was tired, but it was it was yeah. I like when we can talk about fun, like Cap stuff, and I feel like we're in a rut with COVID and canceled games or postponed games, and then these shitty games, and it's like, nah, how I'm feeling.
Yeah, and more on that later on. But yeah, we got to get through the bad stuff first. Okay, so we're not going to go into a full recap of the Boston game because if you missed it, we kind of already did that. Anna and I and Carol Porter III and Robbie Gross of the Sports on the Hill podcast. Yeah, we kind of already went there and been there, done that. Screwed it into the ground, slapped it on the ass, whatever you want to.
We got it. We covered it.
Yeah.
So going on to the Rangers.
Yeah. So, let's just jump into that game. So, Caps had a one-off game in Madison Square Garden. Let's just jump right in the scoring summary. Ryan Strome opens the period, makes it 1-0, 101 seconds in with a tip in, assisted by Adam Fox and Artemi Panarin.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be all of the scoring in the first period. Caps didn't look too bad there, but you kind of tell something was off.
Mm-hmm.
So on to the second period. Anthony Bitetto of the Rangers makes it 2-0 with a backhander, 9:15 into the second. Carl Hagelin, his first of the year, with about a minute left. Right place, right time. Another great setup by Garnet Hathaway, who carried the puck on a Mike Scarbosa feed. Take that one away, refs, you a-holes.
Okay.
So some life there, but again, you could tell something was a little off with this game, and we'll get to that in a second here. Jumping over to the third, 7:55, Strome again with his fourth, second of the game. Panarin, another assist, and one of my favorite names. How sweet that Finland comes up with the great names in all of hockey. There's that guy Jokiharju in Buffalo, Capo Kakko with his first assist of the year on this one. But some more life about 3 minutes later, just above that much time, the captain comes to life and scores his first from being off protocol, his third of the year. Pulling the Caps within one with about 9 minutes left to play, but Caps just did not, and this was the thing, Caps just didn't seem to have that extra oomph that they needed, and just couldn't pull even, could not get that equalizing goal, and eventually Rangers through Pavel Buchnevich would get the empty netter, put it away, put it in the ground. Make it 4-2, and that is how the game would end. 3 stars of the game, all Rangers. Big surprise there. Quick jump of the vitals. 33 shots on goal for the good guys. Not bad as far as output. Not horrible. You want to get anywhere from 29 to 30 plus shots on goal, towards 40 if you can, and Cap certainly got within that. 54.4 face-off win, much better effort in the dot than usual, but unfortunately, at least in this game, it didn't mean diddly squat. Caps got 4 power play chances for once. I don't think they've gotten 4 power play chances in the 4 games total before that combined, but they got 4 in this game, but couldn't make anything out of any of them. Good news is they gave the Rangers 3 chances of their own, but didn't let them score either. So special teams at least had a good night. Hits is kind of a milquetoasty game, except for the very end when Brendan Dillon beat up on a few people, deservedly so, but too little too late by then. 2017, bad guys. And there you have it. Shot totals. Caps, as I said, came out flat in the first period, 15-8 edge for the Rangers first period. Caps turned the tables in the second, 14-8 for them, 11-8 shot edge third period, but just not enough. I think I don't know that they look slow, but they just look like they lack that extra gear that you need to kind of, as Emerald Lagasse used to say, kick it up a notch. And they just couldn't find that notch. So, I don't know what happened. And then I kind of said something about this when we did our gigantic video chat. Don't take this team lightly. They might seem a little off, but this is still a dangerous team. And I think maybe they took them a little too lightly.
I agree.
And so I think that didn't have, just didn't stomp on the gas as much as they could have. Didn't go for the kill, however you want to call it. Caps don't meet the Rangers again until February the 20th. That's if the schedule as we know it even holds. But if and when they do meet up with them again, hopefully they learned a lesson from this in that they got some guys that can skate and can shoot the puck.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even the usual suspects. So hopefully, pardon me, Caps learned a bit of something from this game and we'll take it with them next game because they are in need of some points. Okay, so on to the next game. This one, if you can believe it, was even worse. I was extremely disgusted at this game. So I'll come out and say it. Really, it looked to me like this was the Flyers game. Flyers won this one 7-4. Looked to me like only the top line in this game, that being Ovechkin, Wilson, and Backstrom, showed up, and everybody else did not.
I agree.
Sure as hell looked to me like that, and it sure as hell is reflected of that on the scoreboard. Quickly with the summary, Captain opens the scoring on the power play, his fourth of the year. Nice little snapshot. Was this the one from his office? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Billy Blanks. He wants to punch out people because he's upset about his car insurance.
It was his second. I think it was the second one. This was his power play goal.
I think you're right. So, I'm looking for, okay, here's the replay finally. Caps are looking, okay, Jesus, slingshot, pass, enter the zone, and it was a snapper. It was a snapper, not the usual setup play, but it was a snap from his office. But I think you're right. I think it was his second one that was more his usual. Okay, so that opened the scoring at 11-11 for you in the first, for you who like numerology out there. Fourth of the year, 5.5 minutes later, Tom Wilson with his fifth, assisted by Nicholas Backstrom and the captain. A nice wrister at 16:36. What the hell? This one deserves a replay of its own. I love the description on that. Alex Ovechkin goes between his legs to blow by a defender. I think that says it all.
Yes, it does.
Then backhands the puck to Tom Wilson, who scores to double the Caps lead. Okay, so watching the replay. All right, so here is, this was a thing of beauty. Inside, outside, USA goes Ovechkin over the line at the left circle, slips it towards the goal. Can't really tell. He might have meant this as a pass, but totally dekes the defender out of his jock, slips it towards the goal. There's Mr. Opportunity, also known as Tom Wilson, at the doorstep to poke in the rebound. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see it now. So he actually got it over to Backstrom, who slapped it towards the goal, and then came the rebound, and then Wilson finishes. quite nicely, I might add. So 2-0. Okay, Caps are looking pretty good. And that was at 16:36. Scott Lawton about 2 minutes later makes it 2-1 Flyers with the end of period deflator. That might have might have done something to him. Lawton strikes again, 2:29 in the second, makes it 2-2. Captain strikes with his fifth. This is the one you were talking about, Anna, the one from his office, not on the power play, but a slapper from the left circle, giving the Caps the lead again. Robert Haig with his first, tied 3-3. Yeah, and I'm thinking, I saw that goal and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a seesaw game, and whoever gets the last, the last one to shoot wins. Like, it's kind of like Russian roulette. I don't know. So I see a Van Riemsdyk on the score sheet, but it's not the right one. James, not Trevor, gets his 7th of the year, making it 4-3 Philly at 16:36. What the hell is with 16:36? That's amazing. 16:36 of the first and second, somebody scored a goal, giving the Flyers the lead. Backstrom with his 6th, with time dwindling. 19:03, gorgeous goal. Nice backhander set up by his line mates, Tom Wilson and the captain, both each with their 7th assists. The seesaw battle was still on. And then came the third period. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when something went wrong for Fay Ray and King Kong. The start of the third, Sean Couturier, last year's Selke Award winner for Best Defensive Forward, gives the Flyers the lead for good with his first of the year. Michael Raffle, and Braun on the assists on that one. 31 seconds in the beginning of the period. What the hell is with the Caps getting caught flat-footed after a goal or after a line change or after a break or something? I don't get it. I'm not liking that. Bench needs to work on, kind of getting these guys more in tune with what the hell's going on. So I'm not liking that. Lawton again with the Hattie. His 4th, third of the game, of course. Farabee and Raffle assisting on that one, making it 6-4, 17:51 in the third. And that was pretty much the dagger. Couturier got the empty netter. And that was all she wrote.
Yeah, it sucked.
That one sucked. Quick run through the vitals. 37 shots on goal for the Caps. Above average output. So nothing to complain about there. Refresh my memory, Anna. Was this the game, or was it the game against the Rangers where the Caps only had 4 hits in the first period and they were all by Tom Wilson? You remember that?
I don't, to be honest.
Yeah, Alan May made a big deal about that. He was right. If you got only one guy that's that much engaged, you got a problem.
It sounds like it would probably be this Flyers game because that whole top line was fantastic. Yeah, he was. Yeah, they were all. I don't think they all had a problem. The rest of the team, I don't know. They looked like they didn't show up at all. And I don't know. Caps only had one power play this whole game. One power play. Wow. I would love to see if I had time, I'd dig up the attack zone time, but one friggin' power play in all the attack zone time they had. I know. Really? One? Something wrong there. Something don't smell right. Again, special teams were fan-damn-tastic. One power play, they converted. Gave the Flyers 4 shorthanded chances, including, I think this was the one where Chara did the double minor when he tried to do some plastic surgery on Sean Couturier. Got 4 minutes for that. They killed that sucker off. So, again, special teams were outstanding. Rest of the team was not. I don't get it.
I don't get it. If this was the game where the Caps were flat on the hits, they soon woke up. 21-11 hit edge. And they were blocking. They had a lot of shot blocks, 13. And so 23 shots allowed and an additional 13 blocked. Defense tried to do its job. We've been singing the praises of V squared.
He needed to not be
not his best effort. I'll say that.
I mean,
not his finest hour.
No, and I just it's not. I don't know. Anderson should have been in from the beginning. God, give Vanecek a break.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think Vanecek should have been rested for either this game to start or the Rangers game. I think ideally he should have started against the Rangers.
Yeah. It's just I don't understand that mindset, and I know they always want to be like, ride, lucky hand and this and that. And it's like at some point you just got to say like, okay, this kid needs a break. But yeah, I only walked away from these two games thinking we are slipping back into shitty patterns of not playing 60 minutes of hockey. That is my biggest issue right now when you're looking at first period versus second or second versus third. It's not consistent. It's not 60 minutes. And I still hate Orlov. That's where I'm at.
You are not alone in that regard.
Legit can't stand him. And we can even say for the amount of time that we have given Nick Jensen shit for how terrible he's been or what he does or whatever, he stepped it up these last two games. And good for him. Orlov has yet to redeem himself, and I'm over number 9.
There was I will say there was one play where I think he was on the ice for one of the goals. He didn't look too good, but look, I understand and know and do understand the art of advanced statistics. I can read them. I know what Corsi Fenwick is. I know what quality of competition is. I know about all the advanced stats you want to throw out, and I can read a heat map. I get all that. And I know that some of you gearheads out there love to say, well, plus minus, you can't read that. That doesn't tell the whole story. No kidding. I know that. But it does give you a quickie glance. If we had more time, I would go over those boring ass numbers with you. Yeah, okay, we just don't have the friggin' time, and I'm sorry, but not enough of you listening out there are interested in that. Now, if you are, you can contact me directly, and we can have a one-on-one discussion. We just don't have the friggin' time. But if you run down the plus minus, Nick Jensen actually probably had the best game out of all the Caps. No, not probably. He did. He was the only player on the Caps roster in this game that finished a positive. He was a +1. And yeah, like Anna said, we've given Jensen a lot of shit. We have. And he has looked like shit in some games, but not this one. And one thing I will never question about Jensen is his effort. I will never, ever question that. He always gives 135% effort out when he's on the ice. So I will never question that, especially when he's on the penalty kill.
Mm-hmm.
So I will never question that. But the fact that he finished a +1, where okay, real quick, Brendan Dillon -3, Ovechkin -1, Orlov -1, should have been more. Panik -4. Oh my good Lord. Eller -4. We'll draw a line through that because I think this is one of his first games back. Wasn't it? Was it his first or second game back? I can't remember. I think it was his first game back. But yeah, Eller -4. Whoo boy. Daniel Carr -3. Carlson -3. Yeesh. Good Lord. Guys. Stink like cow turds out there. My goodness. Do better, please.
Well, and I think that this is going to be a huge moment to see what Laviolette does. You know, how is he going to rip into these guys? Is he going to change things up? Is he going to, do all the things that we had seen? And somebody obviously got into Nick Jensen's head to see what happens. Enough's enough. Like there was no reason for us to lose the last 2 games. We knew the Flyers were going to be tough, but we fell apart, and should be as big as argument right there, as you didn't play 60 minutes of hockey, so how can you expect to win? So moving forward, who knows? And then and now everything's totally screwed up with the schedule. So who knows if that time off is going to make or break the boys and their,
Yeah, and that dynamic is going to throw a gigantic monkey wrench into all of it. But yeah, you're right. There are guys that respond to something like that more so than others. Nick Jensen was benched for a couple of games in favor of, pardon me, Trevor Van Riemsdyk. And he responded when he got back into the lineup. He's responded. So, yeah, I'd like to see that maybe from a couple other guys. I hate to say it, but somebody else that looks a tad bit awkward out there, or did at times, at least in this game. I don't think Chara exactly had his best game out there, even though he finished, he finished an even. But yeah, he had that careless penalty towards the end, couple shots on goal, couple hits, but, I don't know. He looked a little awkward out there at times to me. I think he's still having a bit of trouble fitting into the scheme of things, but everything is